Jackie Maloof now with a long putt here on the 18th to pull this one out of the bag. Talking things over with caddy Pete Peters. She knows that this one is for the championship. She's taking her time with it. Maloof pulls off a hole-in-one out of thin air here on the 18th. A huge upset here today as Jackie Maloof takes home the Fiddlesticks Mini Golf Classic, for which she'll receive not one, but 2 free games and a free soda at the snack bar. What a day for Jackie Maloof.
Sports figures, put your brain in the game.
I don't know what the big deal is about putting. I mean, it's really simple, right? You just aim the ball at the hole and you hit it. Simple. Actually, putting's probably one of the hardest things in golf. It's probably one of the hardest things in sports. I mean, think of all the things you have to consider. First of all, you have to gauge your distance to the hole. And you're not allowed to use a tape measure. Next, you have to figure out the slopes of a green. And you're not allowed to use a carpenter's level. Next, you have to figure out how much force to apply to the ball. And you're not allowed to use this guaranteed putting force calibrator. With all that going on, it's amazing that golf forever sinks a putt.
Yes!
Golfing's that guy's business. That's Brad Faxon. He won the Freeport McDermott Classic, and he's the #4 putter on the PGA Tour. So I'd say he knows a thing or two about rolling the ball. So, Brad, how do you do it? What's the secret of putting?
I wish I wish we knew we could sell it, bottle up, make millions.
Right.
But I have 2 secrets, two things I like to tell people with putting. Number 1, you have to be confident, and it's not something you just have. You can learn to be confident. The other thing is you can't care if you miss. You got to know it, because everybody's going to miss.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to miss, I'm going to miss, and that's the most important thing.
All right.
Want me to show you how?
Sure, yes,
okay.
please.
I like to kind of just look where I think the putt's going to go. Don't take a whole lot of time over it. Look once and putt it. And most of the time, it gets pretty close if it doesn't go in.
Very nice,
hey,
sir.
See? And even if you miss, you got to do the same thing.
You don't care?
No.
Tell me a little bit about slopes of a green.
That's what makes the ball curve. You know, not like on a pool table where everything's dead flat. You have to be able to walk up to the hole and know, okay, this putt's going to bend a little to the right or to the left, and whether it's uphill or downhill, because that affects the speed of the putt and how hard you have to hit it. And I don't think it's something you teach, you know, because if you're going to play catch with a buddy, it's not like you can say how hard you have to throw it. The same thing as putting. You have to know, you know, how far to hit it, and the harder you hit it, the less it curves. So all of it's feel and a lot of practice, you know, since I was this high.
Putting would be hard enough, even if all the greens were perfectly flat. But they're not. Greens on a golf course have all sorts of little hills and valleys on them, and that can make getting the ball from here to there pretty complicated. One of the things to consider when you're putting is gravity. Obviously, you need gravity in order for the ball to drop into the hole. But gravity is also at work when the ball is rolling on the green. See, the ball's always going to roll towards the lowest local point. We call this a gravitational potential well. Maybe I should take up the luge. Local just means the lowest point adjacent to wherever you are. The slopes on a green are usually subtle, but they're there. So knowing the lay of the land is pretty important. There's a word for the shape of a surface. It's called topography. This is a map, right? It maps out roads and highways and rivers and towns. Check this out. This is a map of the exact same area. It looks pretty different, right? Because it's got all these little squiggly lines all over it. This is called a topographic map because what it maps out isn't roads and highways. It maps out topography. Topography is the shape of the land, the hills and valleys and flat parts, whatever. It comes from the Greek word topo, which means place, and the word graph, which means graph, a graph of a place. See, this map is great if I'm driving and I need to find a road to get me somewhere. But if you're hiking, you want to have a topographic map along. See, a topographic map would tell me that there's a huge cliff here and I'm not going to be able to go this way. See, this is the trail that I'm taking right here. You see where these lines are really close together? That's this cliff right here. That's why hikers and campers use topographic maps so they can tell if the terrain's going to be flat or hilly or impassable. So what do topographic maps have to do with putting?
If you had a topographic map, it'd make it easier to putt.
You know which way the ball would break.
You know where the gravitational potential wells are.
Well, that would make it a lot easier, right? I just happen to have a topographic map of this green right here. Check it out. So with this, we have everything we need to know about putting on this green.
Yeah, but what do all these lines mean?
How do you read it?
Well, the best way to read a topographic map is to make one. Let's say the bottom of this kiddie pool is our putting green. Now, we've exaggerated the shape a little bit so that it's easier to see. And we can understand how a topographic map works by just adding water. Sean, release the hounds. Okay, Sean, that's good. So guys, what happened?
The water filled in the lowest point of the green.
Exactly. And if we were to trace the water's edge like this, we'd get a line that showed the shape of the green at that level. Next, we're gonna add another inch or so of water and trace that new outline. And we can add water in any increment we choose, depending on what scale is right to show our topography. The lines give us a picture of the shape of the surface of the green. The closer the lines are together, the steeper the incline. The further the lines are apart, the more gradual the slope. The lines on a topographic map are called contour lines because they show the contour of a surface. You see these lines right here? Those lines represent this cliff. They're really close together because this cliff is so steep. A great way to understand how contour lines work is stadium seating. You see how all the seats in one row are at one height? And all the seats in the next row are at a new height. Well, contour lines on a topographic map work exactly the same way. Each line marks a change in elevation, and the seats are just like contour lines. When we talk about the slope of something, we call it a gradient. Gradient means the amount of slope, and we can measure it. To figure out the gradient of a slope is simple. From here to here is 5 feet. And from here to here, the elevation rises 2 feet. That's a ratio of 2 to 5. A 2-foot vertical rise for every 5 feet of horizontal run. A gradient of 2 to 5. Gradient, like that. When you're reading a topographic map and you want to figure out the gradient, it's really simple too. Down here at the bottom of the map, it tells you the contour interval, 10 feet. That means the change in elevation is 10 feet between each contour line. Simple.
Hey, Jackie, you can't just flood every place you want to make a map of.
Right. That's not really how they make topographic maps, but it's a good way to understand them.
Right.
If you want to figure out how they make topographic maps, we can talk to this guy. This is John Butts, and he's a landscape architect, which means he designs golf courses and athletic facilities for a living.
Jackie, surveyors actually make topographic maps, and they do that using equipment like this right here. This is called a transit, and it has 2 major components. One is a leveling device here, and the other is a telescope. And the telescope has crosshairs, And when a surveyor looks through it, he can read vertical dimensions on this instrument here, which is called a leveling rod. The information that is taken off of here is then plotted on a plan as dots. Those points of equal elevation will then be connected with contour lines, and we have a topographic map.
So if we were designing a golf course, would we have to make a topographic map of the existing landscape?
We would get an existing topographic map from a surveyor, and we would work with that plan to create our own plan. That plan is called a grading plan, and the grading plan shows the manipulation of the contours to create the various landforms that we like to create in a golf course. Topography is very important in terms of developing both the character and the level of difficulty of play for a golf course.
Did you go to school for architecture?
Yes, I went to school at Syracuse University and the State University of New York, and it's a 5-year program in landscape architecture.
So how's your golf game? Okay guys, what if I was gonna putt from here?
The ball is going to break slightly to the left because there's a grade to the left right here. There's a pretty steep grade up to the hole, so you're gonna have to hit the ball hard enough.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to putt to my left and give it a little extra gusto to get it all the way up the hill and in the hole. All right, here we go. Yes! The ball is always gonna roll towards the lowest local point. So if we put a cup on a green at the bottom of a gravitational potential well, it'd be pretty easy to sink every shot. So golfers don't actually get a topographic map of greens, do they?
Well, you'd be surprised. We have a guy out on tour named George Lucas. He makes a map of all the holes that we play with yardages, and he has a map of the greens where we actually know where the severe slopes are, which direction the ball will roll when it hits the ground. So it's not like a surveyed map, but it's pretty close. We can read from the map different slopes on the greens. We double check, we hit putts just to assure ourselves that he's right. We put arrows down for big slopes.
So does this guy give them to everyone on the tour, or?
He charges us money for them, and it's worth it because it's a lot of work.
So even if you get a topographic map of the whole lay of the green, that doesn't necessarily guarantee that the ball is going to go in.
Oh, no way. Execution is the most important thing, but you've got to know in order to execute, how hard to hit it, how much break it's going to take, whether the green's hard, whether it's fast or slow. Wind makes a big difference, and you've got to spend a lot of time practicing.
I'd like to thank Brad Faxon, John Butts, our students, Melanie, Kimberly, Sean, and Brian, Fiddlesticks, the Eagle Quest Golf Dome of Rhode Island, and the Exeter Country Club. For helping us out today on ESPN Sports Figures, Golf Gravitas.